Hello everyone and welcome to my August book haul. I have 19 books to show you in this video, so I know that sounds like a lot, but I do kind of feel like I am reading a bit more now. I'm getting through books a little bit faster, which is a great feeling. I know that's no excuse considering the amount of unread books I already own, but as normal I didn't pay full price for any of these. I never pay full price for books anymore because there are so many great second-hand outlets out there. It's just not worth paying full price for books in my opinion. So I'm going to get right on into it. So the first book a lot of you guys will have read and talked about, and you will have seen it on my channel already, and that is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling. I did pre-order this, but it did come a few days late, which I was a little bit annoyed about. Probably not as annoyed as I would have been if I was highly anticipating this book, if I didn't already know the story and the characters and all that stuff from having seen the play. I would probably would have been climbing the walls that this wasn't here on its release date. So yeah, I was a little bit annoyed, but not as annoyed as I could have been. So I haven't actually had a chance to read through this as a script yet, but I am still interested in doing that, and I will do very, very soon, just to see if my opinion is slightly different when I just have the script and the characters and not all of the extras that you get when you see a stage play. If you guys have read this, let me know what side of the reviews your opinion falls on. Did you absolutely love it, or was it a bit of a letdown for you? Let me know and we can talk about it. As I said, I have seen the play, so I wouldn't be spoiled by anything. So yeah, let me know. The next book you will have seen if you have watched my Owl Crate unboxing for this month, and that is P.S. I Like You by Casey West. The theme for Owl Crate this month was Fast Times at YA High, so all I know about this book really is that it is a YA high school book. Since the August Owl Crate has been sent out to everyone, I have actually seen a lot of people reading this book and giving it really, really good early reviews, which kind of increases my interest in it, because I realised in that unboxing video I didn't really talk about this book very much. I didn't say anything about it, partly because I'd never heard of it and I didn't know anything about it, but I didn't even read the blurb, and I'm not entirely sure why, so I'm going to read the blurb for you right now. While spacing out in chemistry class, Lily scribbles some of her favourite song lyrics onto her desk. The next day she finds out that someone has continued the lyrics on the desk and added a message to her. Intrigue. Soon Lily and her anonymous pen pal are exchanging full-on letters, sharing secrets, recommending bands and opening up to each other. Lily realises she's kind of falling for this letter writer. Only who is he? As Lily attempts to unravel the mystery and juggle school, friends, crushes and her crazy family, she discovers that matters of the heart can't always be spelled out. Casey West brings irresistible wit, warmth and sparkle to this swoon-worthy story of love showing up when and where you least expect it. So it sounds really sugary sweet and fun, and as I said, I've heard a lot of really, really great reviews since Owl Crate sent it out, so I may actually push it a little bit further up my TBR than it was originally. So yeah, if I read it anytime soon, I will obviously talk about it in a wrap-up or something like that, so stay tuned if you are interested. The next one I have is an instalment in a graphic novel series that you might know that I love, and that is Saga Volume 6. Obviously this is a continuation of a series that's already 5 volumes long. I am actually hoping to sit down in bed with this tonight and read it all in one sitting. I always do that with comics and graphic novels. I always read them in one sitting because I find them so exciting and fast paced and easy to get through. If you don't know anything about Saga, it's about a couple who come from opposing sides of a warring planet and a moon, and they have a baby and they are running away from people who are trying to kill them because they're not supposed to be together. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on, as you might expect from a comic series. And it is a little bit Romeo and Juliet-esque, but there is a lot of very adult content in here. There's a lot of graphic sex and violence, so if you are thinking of picking up Saga, just be aware of that before you venture into it. But I do really recommend it if you aren't sensitive to graphic sex and violence and weird scary monsters in this. So yeah, but it is a really, really good series, really, really popular series as well, so I would recommend it if you like weird sci-fi with a touch of romance comic series. The next one I have is Armada by Ernest Cline. You might know that I really enjoyed Ready Player One when I read it a couple of months ago. I actually went to an Ernest Cline signing this month as well. He was so sweet. I absolutely adored him. I had a banging migraine that day and I waited in line at Forbidden Planet in central London for him for hours and hours, and he was so grateful and so humbled by all of the hundreds of people that turned out to see him. And he wrote in Armada to Alex, and then he wrote the acronym for May the Force be with you always, obviously from Star Wars, Ernest Cline. So he was really lovely. He is currently working on a sequel to Ready Player One called Ready Player Two, which I'm really excited about, and also the movie of Ready Player One is currently in production as well, which he's really excited about. I'm really excited about. I know a lot of you will be very excited about that. So yeah, I haven't heard that much about Armada. I know I have heard that it's apparently not as good as Ready Player One, but I am still really interested in picking it up. I think it is about a boy who is sitting bored in class one day, and then he sees the spaceship from the video game that he's obsessed with pass across the sky, and I think that triggers a lovely nerdy game-filled adventure. So I am really excited to read it and form my own opinion. The next bunch of books I actually picked up at YALC, the Young Adult Literature Convention that I went to right at the end of July. I didn't actually talk much about my time there, but my friend Zena Haley did an awesome video where she literally went round, I think, every single author that was there, getting their top writing advice. So I will link that video in the description down below, because I think if you want to be a writer, it's definitely worth watching. So these are all the books that I got there. There were lots and lots of publishers, and they all had their books out on the tables, and a lot of them had really great deals. They were 2 paperbacks for £5, which is obviously an awesome deal. So these are some of the books that I picked up. I picked up Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have actually read this, so I will talk about it more in my wrap-up. This is a YA sci-fi, and when it came out last year, it was a really big deal on BookTube. Everyone was loving it. It was really hyped up. I think the sequel, Gemina, is either just come out or about to come out. I had no real interest in this when it first came out, and now the hype has died down, and I saw it at YALC for a really great price. I thought, okay, well, I'll just pick it up and give it a go. As I said, I will talk about it more in my wrap-up, but I was pleasantly surprised by it, I can tell you that. There are some really lovely lyrical lines in this that I absolutely loved. I really believed in the romance, which is a really important aspect in a book for me. So yeah, I will say just the gist of it is a teenage couple who are going through a breakup at the start of the book, and then bad stuff happens. Their planet is invaded by enemy forces, and basically their breakup is kind of thrown into perspective in relation to all of the stuff that they now have to deal with. So yeah, there is a lot of heartbreaking moments, there's a lot of excitement, it's very fast paced and things like that, so I would recommend it if you like YA sci-fi romance. The next book I have also read, so I will talk about it more in my wrap-up, and that is The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. I wasn't as excited about this as I was about Illuminate. I only gave this 3 stars. As I said, I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up. It's about 4 teenagers living in Alaska in the 1970s, and they're all dealing with some kind of hardship, and towards the end their lives become somewhat intertwined. So yeah, I mean, I think I did prefer the writing style to the actual story and the characters in this. As I said, I will talk about it more in my wrap up. I gave it 3 stars if you are interested. So it was an okay book, but I expected more from it, I think. The next 2 I got are very popular here on BookTube, and I think I was quite excited about them when they first came out, and then I lost interest because people said that they got a little bit frustrated by them, and that is Red Queen and Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I got both of these for £5, which was obviously a great deal. The covers are absolutely gorgeous. From what I know about this series, it's a YA fantasy, and I think it's got a touch of Game of Thrones to it, but I'm not entirely sure about that, and that's pretty much all I know. I want to go in semi-blind. I have heard very mixed reviews, certainly about the first one, so we will see what I think. I think it is going to be a trilogy, or maybe longer than that, I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, we will see what I think of them. The next one I have is actually from a self-published author, and I don't normally read a lot of from self-published authors, and I don't really know why, because I do kind of think, well, there must be some hidden gems in the world of self-publishing. So I picked up What They Don't Tell You About Love in the Movies by Claire Watts. This was actually on a table with a lot of other independently published books, and this one just caught my eye because I absolutely love the cover. First of all, that may have been a factor in me buying this book. But also I think it's just like a sort of fun, light story about two people who love movies and who like each other, but I'm not sure, I think they don't really know they like each other, so I think you're kind of like willing them to get together and then they don't until the very end. So it might be quite frustrating, but it sounds really sweet and the kind of thing that I think I would get through quite fast. So yeah. The next one I have was on my wish list, so I was really excited to see it there for cheap, and that is Highly Illogical Behaviour by John Corey Whaley. I have read Where Things Come Back by John Corey Whaley and absolutely adored that one. That was a really unique story. I also have another one of his books called Noggin, which I haven't read, but I do own. This one is about a boy who has agoraphobia. He hasn't left his house for a few years, and a girl who is desperate to get onto a psychology college course, and I think she kind of uses this boy as her sort of project to help her get onto the course, and that's pretty much all I know. It's quite short, so I should fly through it, and I have heard a lot of booktubers talk about this, so I think it may be quite a popular one, and as I said, it was on my wish list, so I picked it up for cheap as soon as I could. The next one I have is a middle grade kind of fantasy, and there was a lot of promotion at YALC for this. I saw the book trailer and fell in love with the book trailer, and it worked on me. I went and bought the book, and that is The Power of Dark by Robin Jarvis. I haven't read any Robin Jarvis, but apparently I think it's a he, is quite a big name in middle grade fantasy. This is a witch book set in Whitby in Yorkshire, I think, where parts of Dracula are set in Whitby as well, which I do love Dracula. So I'm hoping I will like this one. That's pretty much all I know. I think it's the first in a new series. So yeah, I mean, the cover is absolutely adorable. I love kind of quirky, creepy kids books, so I'm hoping that's what this is, and the fact that it's middle grade kind of makes me think that it might be a bit of an easy read. So I'm going to be picking it up when I feel like a quirky, easy read. So yeah. The next bunch of books that I have, I've actually picked up in charity shop this month, so you probably know that I absolutely love charity shops. They're a great place to get bargains and to maybe discover books that you never would have otherwise. So the first one is actually in a similar vein to The Power of Dark, and that is The Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place, The Mysterious Howling. This is the first book in a series, so it says book 1 on the spine. I don't know how many there are. I've never heard of this series. It's by Mary Rose Wood, but I think this is kind of Coraline-esque is what I got from it, but I think it also has a sort of Victorian slant on it. I think it's about a woman who goes to be either a nanny or a governess for these two children, and I think she discovers that these children are a little bit strange and odd things start happening in the house and things like that, and that's the kind of story that I love. I find them really cute, I find them really fun, I do get through them quite quickly, so yeah, I'm expecting good things from it, and maybe if I find other books in this series, then I may pick them up if I enjoy this one. So yeah. The next couple I have are actually adult contemporaries, and I have kind of been in the mood for some like proper chick lit, which does surprise me because I don't read a lot of that, at least I didn't, certainly before the last couple of months. So the first one is The Secrets of Happiness by Lucy Diamond. I've never read any Lucy Diamond, but I know she is quite a popular adult chick lit writer, so I picked this one up because the cover attracted me. It's quite a pretty cover, so it's got a tree with shoe and a violin and a paint palette and things like that. I think this is about two stepsisters who have very different lives. One of them is married with kids, and one of them has a kind of unsteady job and bad luck with men and things like that. And then I think one of them, the one with the happy family and the seemingly perfect life, goes missing, and her stepsister, in trying to find her, kind of uncovers secrets that suggest that perhaps her sister's life is not quite as perfect as it seems. So yeah, it does sound like a kind of general chick lit, maybe with a little bit of mystery involved in that, so that definitely intrigues me, and I thought it would be like a really kind of nice summery beach read. I am going away in a couple of weeks with my family to Jamaica, so I may take a book like this. We're only going for a week, but I may take a book like this just for some kind of light reading on the beach. The next one is in a similar vein, and that is The Reading Group by Elizabeth Noble. This is basically just about women in a book club and obviously their love of books, which is probably a reason I picked it up. I was hoping that I could maybe relate to them in terms of book love. So yeah, I think this is basically it just follows the women in these book clubs and through their lives. Obviously they have different hardships. I think one of them has a husband who is a little bit naughty. I think one of them has a tearaway teenager, and I think another one has troubles at work or something like that. So yeah, but it's all about their united love of reading, and I think they'll have very different reading tastes and things like that. So I'm hoping that I will kind of relate to them on that level, if nothing else. The next one is a book that I have known about for a long time, and I've always kind of been semi-interested in it, and that is The Chronicles of Narmo by Caitlin Moran. Caitlin Moran is my favourite journalist. She's written a lot of non-fiction. I find her really funny, and this is a book that she wrote when she was just 15 years old, which I just find astonishing. It's quite short. It's only like 140 pages-ish, and I think this is based on her real family. She is the oldest of 8 children, and she was brought up on a council estate in Wolverhampton in the Midlands of the UK. So I'm expecting it to be really funny, and I'm intrigued to see if 15-year-old Caitlin Moran is as funny as the 40-year-old Caitlin Moran, who I know very well. So yeah. The next couple of books are kind of thrillery books, because I do quite like my thrillers as well. And the first one is Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I think this is about a kind of a world where all of the kind of internet and the phone and all of the electrics kind of go off one day, and I think obviously dark, weird things start happening, and that's pretty much all I know. It's the sort of book I want to go into semi-blind, so I'm not going to say any more. And the next one is a book that I have seen around quite a lot, and I think there is a sequel to it now, and that is The Three by Sarah Lotz. This is about a situation where 4 planes crash on the same day at the same time, and the only 3 survivors are 3 children and a woman who is trying to find out exactly what happened. What does it mean that she and these 3 children survived? And I think there is kind of conspiracy going on and things like that. It sounds very intriguing, and I guess it enticed me to pick it up at the time, so I did. That's pretty much all I know. And the last 2 books, well, second to last 2 books that I picked up are Lover Revealed and Lover Enshrined by J.R. Ward. These are books 4 and 6, I think, in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. This is an adult vampire series, I think, and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with vampires, which you may or may not know, but my ex-boyfriend's sister really enjoys this series, and we do kind of have semi-similar taste in books, so I thought I would just pick them up and give them a go. Obviously, these are books 4 and 6, so I would have to find the first 3 before I got into these. If I get through the first 3 though, obviously I will read them and maybe enjoy them. I will let you know. And the last book that I'm going to talk about is possibly the book that I am most excited about, and as soon as I knew about its existence I just had to have it, and that is The Essential Supernatural. And this is basically a supernatural coffee table book. It's got loads of information and pictures and interviews and so much from seasons 1 to 10 of the show, and I just absolutely love it, basically. So it's got just sort of information about how they created the show. It's got pictures. It's got sort of I don't know if you can see that, like little pull-out postcards. It's got so much, basically, just supernatural fan stuff. So yeah, I mean, I just had to have it, basically. I think it's quite new out. So yeah, if you are into supernatural at all, I recommend that you pick it up. So yeah, it's basically got a load of supernatural stuff from seasons 1 to 10. I think it's currently retailing on Amazon in the UK for only just over £20, when it normally retails for £30, so that's an awesome saving. And yeah, I'm going to really enjoy just flicking through this, I think, and I think it's definitely an essential for all supernatural fans. So yeah, and that is it for my August book haul. What books did you get this month? Let me know in the comments down below. I will leave all my social media down below as normal. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.